Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to teach you how to crochet this light lacy summer poncho, so keep watching and let's get started. I recommend using cotton yarn or a cotton blend, and I also recommend a 3.5mm hook to make your lacy motifs look really nice. You also need scissors, stitch markers and a darning needle to weave in your ends. We're going to begin by making a slip knot, and then we're going to be chaining in groups of 10. So I did a total of 100 chains, and this is going to be for the width of our poncho. So go ahead and chain the width you would like in multiples of 10. We're going to start row 1 by chaining 5. And this is going to count as our first double crochet and chain 2 space. So go ahead and chain 5, and then we're going to skip 5 of our chains and do a double crochet into our 6th chain. I'm going to do my stitch into the back bump, as you can see there, and this is just going to make your stitches look a little bit neater on that foundation chain. It's optional, but I'm going to do my stitches into that back bump. So here we have our first double crochet, and that chain 5 acts as the double crochet in chain 2. So now we're going to do another chain 2 space, so go ahead and chain 2, and then we're going to skip 2 chains and double crochet into the 3rd chain. And again, I'm going to go into the back bump of that chain. So we're going to do this 2 more times so that we have 2 of these chain spaces that look like little squares. So I'm going to do chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the 3rd chain 2 more times. So for the start of our row, we have these 4 little squares. Now we're going to do 3 more double crochet so that we have 4 double crochet next to each other. So go ahead and do another 3 double crochet into the next 3 chains. And this is what the start should look like. And now we're going to begin repeating by doing chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the 3rd to create those little mesh squares, and we're going to do that so that we have 7 of those little chain space squares, followed by those groups of 4 double crochets, and we're going to keep doing that for the rest of our chain. So I continued doing those chain spaces, so I have groups of 7 chain spaces followed by 4 double crochets, and now we're going to do the same as the beginning by doing 4 of those chain space groups. So we're going to chain 2, skip 2 and double crochet into the 3rd, just like we've been doing, and we're going to do this a total of 4 times. So now we can start on row 2, and we're going to start by chaining 5, and this counts as our first double crochet and chain 2. So chain 5 and then turn your work, and then we're going to put a double crochet into the double crochet from the previous row. And then we're going to chain 2 and double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And then we're going to do that again by chaining 2 and putting a double crochet into that next double crochet stitch. So we have our little chain space squares, and now we're actually going to do 2 double crochet into the chain space. And then because we want to have groups of 4, we're going to double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip those 2 stitches and double crochet into the 4th double crochet stitch from that cluster. And we're going to put 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space. So we're doing the same as the other side, and putting a double crochet into the top of the previous row double crochet. So this is what it should look like. And we're going to be doing this for the whole row by doing chain 2 double crochet in all of the chain spaces except for the 2 spaces that are next to the group of 4 double crochets, just like we have done now. So now our section that had 7 squares will now have 5 mesh squares, and we're going to put 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space that is next to the group of 4 double crochet, and then we're going to put a double crochet into the top of that previous row double crochet, just like we did before, and then we're going to chain 2 and put a double crochet into that last double crochet of that group. And then we're going to place 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space and a double crochet into that previous row double crochet. And then we're just going to continue that all the way to the end. When you get to your very last little gap, you're going to chain 2 and put a double crochet into the 3rd chain from your hook. So it's going to be the middle chain of that whole chain 5 section. So just place it in there and do your double crochet, and that is how we're going to finish our row. And that is row 2 done. We're going to start row 3 by chaining 5 once again, which acts as the double crochet in chain 2 space, and we're going to double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And then we're going to chain 2 again and double crochet into the next stitch. And now, because we are now at the gap before our group of 4, we're going to place 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space. And then we're going to put a double crochet into that first double crochet of the group of 4. And now what we're going to do is start our flower by doing chain 4, and we're going to place a triple crochet into that chain 2 space. And then we're going to chain 4 again and place a double crochet into the last double crochet of that group of 4. And then we're just going to put 2 double crochet into the next chain 2 space and a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And then we're going to continue doing the mesh chain 2 stitches until we get to the next group of 4. So we should have a total of 3 chain 2 gaps. Now that I'm by my group of 4 double crochet, I'm going to put 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 4 and place a triple crochet into the next chain 2 space. And then I'm going to mirror that by chaining 4 and placing a double crochet into that last double crochet. And then I'm going to put 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and I'm going to repeat doing this pattern to the end of my row. Once you get to your last square again, you can chain 2 and put a double crochet into the 3rd chain, and that is how we're going to end our row. And then to start row 4, we're going to chain 5 once again and turn our work. And then we're going to place a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. Because we are now at the chain space next to our group of 4 double crochet, we're going to place 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space, and then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And then we're going to chain 5. And what we want to do is place a single crochet as close to that triple crochet into that chain 4 space, and then a single crochet into that triple crochet stitch, and then in that next chain space another single crochet. And this is what it should look like. And then we're going to chain 5 again and double crochet into that last double crochet stitch. And then place 2 double crochet into the next chain 2 stitch and a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. And then for this row we will only have 1 chain 2 space square, so chain 2 and double crochet into the next double crochet, and then we're going to again chain 5 and place a single crochet into the chain 4 space, and a single crochet into the triple crochet, and then another single crochet again into the next chain 4 space. And then we're going to mirror that by chaining 5 again and putting a double crochet into that last double crochet, and put 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way to the end of the row. We're going to end our row with a chain 2 and a double crochet into the 3rd chain. And we're going to start our next row a little bit different by chaining 3. And this is the row that we're doing the center of our flower. So we're going to place 2 double crochet into the first chain 2 space, and then a double crochet into the next double crochet. And then we're going to chain 6. And we're going to place a single crochet into that chain 5 space as close to the middle as you can. And then do 3 single crochet all through those previous row single ones, and then a single crochet into the next chain 5 space. So we have a total of 5 single crochet in the center of our flower motif. And now chain 6 again and place a double crochet into the last double crochet stitch. And then we're going to go straight into that chain 2 space with 2 double crochet. And then a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, and repeat the flower by chaining 6 and doing the 5 single crochet. And that is what we're going to do for the entire row. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to place a double crochet into that last double crochet stitch, and then put 2 double crochet into that last chain 5 space, and then you're going to place a double crochet into the 3rd chain, and that is how we will end our row. So that is our row 5 and the center of our flower motif. So what we're going to do now is reverse what we did. So we're going to chain 5 and turn our work, and we're going to place a double crochet into that last double crochet of the group of 4. And then we're going to place 3 double crochet into the chain 6 space, but close to the double crochet we just made. So this is what it will look like, and you can move your stitches a little bit, and then you can chain 5, and we're going to place 3 single crochet. So skip the first single crochet and only do a single crochet in those 3 middle single crochets. Chain 5 and then place 3 double crochet into the chain 6 space close to the next double crochet. So then place your 4th double crochet into the next stitch. So that is what it should look like, and like I said, it is the opposite of what we did pretty much. So now we're going to chain 2, skip 2 and do a double crochet into that last stitch, and repeat the same thing by placing 3 double crochet into the chain 6 space, chain 5, do 3 single crochet into those 3 middle stitches, and repeat this all the way to the end. when you get to the end of the row, we're going to chain 2 and place a double crochet into the top of the chain 3 on the previous row. And that is the end of row 6. And now we're going to chain 5 and turn our work. And then we're going to place a double crochet into the next double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2 and place a double crochet into that last double crochet. And then, like the previous row, we're going to place 3 double crochet into the chain 5 space. And now to make the top of the flower, chain 4, and we're going to do a triple crochet into that middle single crochet stitch, so the second single crochet stitch. And then you're going to chain 4 and place 3 double crochet into that chain 5 space as close to that group of 4 as you can. And then you're going to place another double crochet into that double crochet from the previous row, and that is the entire flower motif. So now we're going to chain 2 and skip 2 and do a double crochet into that last double crochet stitch. We're going to chain 2 again and skip that chain 2 space and do a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, and then place 3 double crochet into the chain 5 space. We're going to repeat what we did by chaining 4 and placing a triple crochet into the middle single crochet stitch. And then we will chain 4 and do 3 double crochet into the next chain 5 space, and then repeat the entire process to the end of the row. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to chain 2 and double crochet into the 3rd chain. And that is the entire flower section. And then we're going to do 3 more rows before we actually repeat the flower motif again. So to start, we're going to chain 5 and turn our work. So we're going to place double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, chain 2, double crochet into that next double crochet stitch, chain 2 again, double crochet into that last double crochet stitch, and then place 3 double crochet into that chain 4 space as close to the stitch you just made. And then we're going to chain 2. Then do 3 double crochet into that next chain 4 space and place your 4th double crochet into that next double crochet stitch. And then we're going to do this for the entire row by doing chain 2 double crochet. So chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. Do this until you get to the next chain 4 space. So double crochet into that 4th double crochet from the previous row and place 3 double crochet into that chain 4 space. and then you're going to chain 2 and place 3 double crochet into the next chain 4 space and 1 double crochet into that next double crochet stitch, and repeat this for the entire row. We're going to end our row by chaining 2 and placing a double crochet into the 3rd chain, and then we're going to chain 5 and turn our work. And this will be the last row of the repeat. We're going to double crochet into that next double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and continue this. And once you get to this little middle section, you're going to put 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into that next. So you have your 4 double crochet right in the middle. And then you're going to chain 2, double crochet, and essentially this row is like a repeat of the very first row that we made. So you're going to do chain 2 spaces everywhere except for that little middle section there. That's where you'll do the 4 double crochet. Once you get to the end, chain 2 and double crochet into the 3rd chain, and that will be the end of our row. So now we're going to start over again pretty much from the 2nd row really, by doing 5 chains and turning. And this is the row that we're going to be doing. It's just like row 2. So double crochet into that first double crochet, chain 2, and repeat doing your little chain 2 squares. And now we're going to place 2 double crochet into this chain space and 1 double crochet into that first double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into that double crochet, and then place 2 double crochet into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. Repeat this until the end of the row. This is just a repeat of our row 2. We're going to end our row by chaining 2 and placing a double crochet into the 3rd chain, and then chain 5 and turn your work. The next row will be a repeat of the first row of the flower motif that we did. So we're going to begin by double crocheting into that first double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the next double crochet, and place 2 double crochet into that chain 2 space, and then place a double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, and then we're going to chain 4 and place a triple crochet into that chain 2 space, and then we're going to chain 4 again and do 4 double crochets just like we did on the other row, just like we did on row 3. And we're going to be doing a repeat of everything that we just did until we have the length that we want for our poncho. So it's going to be one very long rectangle. So repeat doing this until you have a very long rectangle. I did a total of 16 repeats of the flower motif. This is how long it is. So you want to make it quite long, because the reason we want it this long is because we're going to fold it in half. So when I fold it in half, this is actually how we're going to wear it. So this is technically how long it is when you wear it. This is the open edges, right? And this side's closed. And then once we wear it, we're going to choose a place, like, let's just say the middle, which is what I did on my last one, where we keep this part open, which is going to be our neck hole, and stitch this side closed. So when we wear it, let me try and demonstrate. And then this we're going to close approximately halfway-ish. Well, for me it's halfway. You can do a bigger neck hole or smaller, but that's how we're going to do it. And this will be stitched closed. And that's how you want to figure out how long to do your length, okay? Like this. Sort of like your shoulder and your arm length. You want to finish your work once you have the length that you want on the row that we pretty much started on. So it's like the row with just one group of the double crochet cluster, you know? So this is my last row. It mimics that. It's the same as our first row. Before I stitch it closed and do the tassels and all of that, I'm actually going to block this first. This is optional, but I do highly recommend blocking your panel. And the reason I block it before stitching it closed is so it will dry faster, because if we stitch it closed, it'll be like overlapped. So I'm going to block it so that it drapes a bit more and the stitches are more defined. So I'll actually show you how I do that. So again, it's optional, but I do recommend this step. We'll block it and then I'll show you how you can stitch it closed so it looks seamless, and how to add the tassels. So first I completely wet my crochet piece with warm water, and then I massage conditioner into it, just a small amount, and I find this helps make it really soft and drape really nice. So once I've massaged it all in, I'm just going to rinse out all of the conditioner so there's no more soap coming out, and then I'm going to just squeeze all of the soapiness out, squeeze all the water out, and then I'll completely squeeze as much water as I can out of it, but do not wring it, so just squeeze it as much as you can. As you can see, I'm lucky it's very sunny today. Otherwise you can do this inside, but it might take longer to dry. You want 2 towels because it is very long. And now we're going to squeeze the water out with the towel. And now we're going to try and stretch it out as much as we can on the top dry part. Once this is completely dry, what you want to do is grab both ends and basically just fold this in half. So it's now folded in half. You want to stitch mark the corner to corner, basically gradually add more stitch markers going inward towards the fold, so that you have this part close to the fold is open, and then this part to the corner that you've attached with stitch markers so you can try it on. So I'll show you what I mean. I put stitch markers pretty much on half, and I kept this half open. As you can see, it's open and then closed. Just put it on over your head like this. Kind of see how you would wear it. Okay, I have adjusted my stitch markers. This is what I'm going to do for my neck opening. We are now going to attach our yarn and do the stitch in the middle, so let's do that. I'm going to work from the inside towards the out, so from the corner to the edge, and with a slip knot on your hook you're going to attach your yarn to one of the double crochet stitches just with a slip knot. And once it is attached, you're going to chain 3. And then to the other side of the panel, on the exact same stitch so that it is symmetrical, you're going to do a slip stitch into that double crochet stitch. And we're going to now do a slip stitch inside of that chain, and we're going to do a total of 3 slip stitches, and then the third is going to be in that double crochet stitch. And then once we have our 3 slip stitches, we're going to chain 3. So basically we're connecting these sides together by mimicking the mesh stitch. So now you can slip stitch to the opposite side where that double crochet stitch is. So you can see that looks just like our chain 2 square spaces. So now you want to do your 3 slip stitches, and the third slip stitch is going to be in that double crochet stitch. And you're going to repeat doing the chain 3 attached to the opposite side with a slip stitch, and doing the 3 slip stitches on that side, the chain 3, and continue that to the end of your panel. Once you've completed all of those, you can then cut your yarn. To make the tassels, you need something to wrap your yarn around that you like the length of. So my tassel will be the length of this notebook. And what I'm going to do is hold my finger there and wrap the yarn around. And I want to do around 4 to 6 times for my tassel. And then you want to get your scissors and you only want to cut on that bottom side. So you want to hold it in the middle. I'm going to start in the corner of my poncho, and using a large hook, I'm basically attaching it like a slip knot. You can use your fingers if you want, but it's that simple. You can do less or more strands, and you can choose how many you want. I ended up doing about 2 tassels per flower section. And then once you have all of your tassels on, the very last thing that we're going to do is trim each tassel so that the ends are nice and even, and weave in all of our ends. And once you've done that, your poncho is done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Please tag me on Instagram if you make one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!